I don't know about y'all, but after this episode, I'm going to just leave the word trigger out of my vocabulary because, whew. So we are back with a new episode, and we are continuing off from last episode where Cristyl and Robin are going at it, child. The friends are tussling, okay? Now, if y'all checked out my last review, you will know that at this point, I do not care for Cristyl because she is an instigator in this whole situation. And although Robin is hitting her like a child, which I also do not like, it's not okay, it's not. I can't really empathize with Cristyl because she is literally poking and gaslighting Robin on purpose to make her tick, like to tick her off. And I know that sounds crazy because Robin is a grown woman, so no one should be able to react in a way that caused her to hit them. But I mean, Cristyl was really pushing that lady button. And if that was her real friend, she wouldn't have been saying Robin is triggered, especially knowing the lady has mental problems. So while Robin and Cristyl are going at it in public, the other ladies are trying to calm them down. And Tiana is telling Cristyl stop calling her triggered because it is making the situation worse, which it was. And Robin said she was trying to do that on purpose, which once again, Cristyl was. And then Cristyl told Tiana to mind her business because her and Robin were best friends. And baby, Tiana is better than me because I would have laid Cristyl out right then and there. Girl, don't play with me. It was the audacity of her saying she is best friends with Robin, yet she was treating her like S-H-I-T in front of everyone. She really had the nerves, I swear. She also said she don't need Tiana telling her what to do, but throughout the whole conversation the other ladies were having with Robin, she did nothing but insert herself by trying to tell Robin how to respond. Girl, Cristyl, bye. You're a hypocrite. And Cristyl also had the nerves to say she don't like confrontation. Yeah, she was the one to cause it all. Literally, Quiana and Kira were the ones who had issues with Robin, yet Cristyl was the one getting popped by Robin. And that's because Cristyl added fuel to all these situations by continuously placing herself in everyone's conversation when she didn't need to. So it seemed like she enjoyed the confrontation she got from it, if you ask me. So now all of a sudden she got an issue with Tiana because Tiana called her out on the way she handled Robin as her quote unquote best friend. But Cristyl really tried to justify her actions as, well, it's okay how I handle her because that's one of my best friends and you're a stranger, Tiana. And Tiana was like, it doesn't matter and that wasn't okay, period. And then she left. Tiana just packed up and left. So at this point, Tiana, Tiffani, and Robin are gone. And Cristyl, Kira, and Quiana stayed back and they were talking and letting Cristyl, of course, get her little spiel off to justify her actions. And out of nowhere, Quiana noticed that Kira's shoes were off. And she goes to say she took her shoes off because she didn't know if Robin was going to hit her. Girl, please, Kira, you were the one getting bucked, not Robin, when it was you two going at it. So please, put them shoes on. That lady was not going to attack you. She really wasn't. And Kira was getting on my nerves because I get that she was upset about the whole, oh, Robin unfollowed me and is lying about it situation. But I think her attitude with it made it worse. And she was the main one getting hyped all up. So shit. Robin started matching that energy. Now don't get me wrong, Robin in these situations was just as wrong as the other ladies, and I have to keep saying that because I don't need anyone thinking I'm excusing her actions because I am not at all, period. But I just hate how all the other ladies are trying to make it seem like she was the only problem as if they face is good. Nah, baby. Y'all definitely play a huge negative role as well. So let's not, in the words of Quiana, deflect. But moving on, we see Robin doing yoga because that is where she finds peace, like most people, and she starts reflecting on the situation, but more importantly, her friendship with Cristyl. And she starts crying because clearly she feels betrayed and led astray. But it's crazy because Cristyl was crying in the scene before this to Kira and Quiana about what went down with her and Robin as well. And clearly they both are hurt and embarrassed, and if not embarrassed, they should be. But I don't know why I feel less sympathy for Cristyl than I do Robin. I don't know if it's because of her mental health aspect. I don't know if it's because Cristyl not once defended her. I don't know what it is, but it seems like to me, Cristyl is trying to victimize herself when really neither her or Robin are victims, but just both wrong as hell for their actions, period. So then we move on to Quiana having a conversation with her husband about everything that went down. And she told him the pitch Robin was trying to make and that she actually loved the idea, which like I said before, I think all of them liked the idea Robin had. I just think some of them needed to get some things off their chest when it came to Robin if they were going to work together and do business. Now, before I move forward, I just have to say, I just love Quiana home. It's so bomb. Every time we see her sitting outside by the pool, it just gives class, elegance, luxury. And then she has this big old W on the gate. And it's funny because she said that a lot of people like to think like the W means like the W, the hotel, the W. But no, baby, she said the W stands for Watson, which is her last name. But yes, Quiana is living that black girl magic, black girls and luxury dream we love to brag about, okay? But moving on back to the conversation with her husband, she's expressing how she don't like when the girls out here like to claim old women empowerment, but when it's time to do so, they all flake out or, you know, they just be faking the funk. Now, of course, all this is coming from the fact that Robin was asking for too much money when Quiana asked her to hold on to her client list when she was transitioning and trying to start her own brokerage. Now, y'all peep this because I watched a live with Quiana and she really broke it down. So we all know she asked Robin to hold a client list of 26 clients for 30 days, and Robin told her she wanted $500 a piece for each client, which would have been $13,000. And on her live, Quiana said she don't care how much money people think she have or don't have. That was just out of pocket rate, and that she also did not expect for Robin to do it for free because she planned on paying Robin. Quiana said she has used a brokerage before that does the transactional hold, I think that's what it's called, and they only charged her $6,000, and it was for an entire year, and the client list was unlimited. So when Robin hit her with the $13,000 for 30 days, she was just taken aback. Hell, I was too. And the only reason she wanted to use Robin was because she knew Robin don't be in a mess, and that her business wouldn't have been out there in the streets. So that's why she asked Robin. But baby, for that price, Quiana, put your business out in the street, okay? So yeah, that was pretty much a little backstory on everything, at least from Quiana's perspective. So Quiana told her husband how she brought up the situation to Robin, and Robin got spicy with her. But as much as I love Quiana on the show, and she's my fave, let's be real, Robin didn't get spicy. She actually apologized and said sorry, but I think Quiana didn't care to get an apology from Robin because she already had her mind made up. It is what it is. She took it in a negative way because she did say Robin was a little spicy with it. But I don't think Robin was being negative. I just think Robin wanted to get over it and move on. But at the end of it all, Quiana said she does like Robin. She didn't like the way Robin was moving with the deal. So the two of them will talk soon, and I can't wait for that to happen, so I can see how they speak with each other in a, you know, one-on-one setting. So then we move on to seeing Tiffani and Tiana together, and they started to have a conversation about the outing and what went down that night as well. And immediately they pointed out that Cristyl played a big role in the negative energy that was spilled out that night, and said her pointing and calling Robin triggered was just straight up wrong. And not only that, but how it was Robin's idea to bring the ladies together, yet it was Cristyl who did the contacting and initiating because she was the one who knew all parties involved, and that she played more of an instigator than a mediator with all the ladies. And yeah, I promise I yelled at my TV screen because thank God they get it. And they were seeing what we were seeing, at least what I am seeing as far as Cristyl goes. Because in situations like what went down with them, most people would say Robin is wrong because she was the attacker. And let's be clear, yes, Robin was very wrong. Gotta keep saying it, Robin was wrong. Because what we don't need to do as grown professional women is put hands on one another, okay? That's a big no-no. But Cristyl was literally provoking Robin on purpose because she knew that Robin would be offended, being that this is not the first time she said the word triggered to her. And Robin has told her multiple times to just stop using that word. But no, Cristyl is a slimy person and instigator and overall terrible friend. So of course she wasn't going to stop using a triggering word on someone she called a friend who has opened up about her mental health issues, because Cristyl is just nasty. Like, I don't like her ways, I just don't. And like I said in my last recap, it's always a bad look when someone attacks you, yet no one has sympathy for you because you are a huge cause in your attack. So while Tiffany and Tiana are talking, Tiffany says that she wants to have a sit down with Robin to see where her head is at, because she could relate to what Robin has been through as far as being in a terrible mental space, since Tiffany herself has been in that position before. But I knew that was going to happen, because that night of the pitch, Tiffany was the only one taking up for Robin, knowing what Robin has been through based off of similar experience. So I am very intrigued to see how this goes, because I knew it was going to be like a very sentimental moment. Now, moving on in the episode, we see Cristyl having a sit down with her therapist, and they are having a conversation about Cristyl and Robin's friendship. And Cristyl said the situation that went down had her feeling some way because she calls Robin her best friend. Yet in the situation that went down, she was not acting like a best friend. She damn near was acting like an enemy to that lady, which is why Robin flipped so hard and popped her in her purse. Now, Robin has told us so many times since the show has started that she usually don't be around women, but clearly she was able to open up to Cristyl and be friends with Cristyl, yet every chance she got, Cristyl turned against Robin, whether it was around other people or if they were by themselves. Cristyl have the tendency to throw things out that Robin may have told her and then use that against her, and that, my dear, is not best friend behavior, okay? I really hate how harsh I am speaking on Cristyl right now, because I honestly and truly want to like her. But it's just like, Cristyl, why? Like, just take ownership in the wrong you did in provoking your best friend, and it'll be all good. It really will. But anyways, Cristyl is speaking with her therapist, and I am happy we are getting this scene, because now I get to see what Cristyl was thinking and experiencing that night. And she did acknowledge that Robin was being attacked that night. She did. And she wanted to take control of what happened and ease the situation with Quiana and Kira. But clearly, whatever Cristyl thought she was doing in her head was the total opposite of what she was actually doing that night. So Cristyl thought by trying to calm Robin down, it would be easier because that was her friend, so she will understand. And now that she says that, I can see that. Robin is her bestie. So if she tells her to hush, then she will listen. But I don't think Cristyl realized that she wasn't coming off that way, because first off, when Robin was talking and saying her piece, and she was calm and was just speaking her piece, and Cristyl will interrupt her at the wrong time, or when personally I think she didn't need to. And during the time, it's Robin who's getting pushed up on, so of course Robin instantly get into defense mode, and Cristyl wasn't happy, but honestly making the situation worse. So basically, Cristyl is a terrible middleman and mediator, and that doesn't need to be her role moving forward, because she don't know how to take control of the situation to help out both parties. She is very one-sided. Even speaking with her therapist, Cristyl doesn't see the problem she provoked, because she says that she didn't know how sensitive Robin was yet. There was 2 incidents in the first episode with them 2 arguing with each other that show how sensitive Robin was. So I am confused how she didn't know. Hell, I was able to catch it. And that's your best friend. So how did you miss that, Cristyl? Until Cristyl be honest with herself with how she acts with Robin, I don't think they will work as friends. I just don't see it. But I mean, in her therapy session, she did say she will, set some boundaries with Robin. And I mean, I think she should, because honestly, they both need it, especially after Robin done hit the girl. That's not funny, Robin. Stop. Don't put your hands on that girl, even though y'all best friends. Don't put your hands on that girl. But that was that, and it was time for the meetup with Robin and Tiffany. And I was ready to hear this conversation, because I feel like Tiffany can get something up out of Robin. But before they started talking, Robin told Tiffany she looked good for her age, and granted, she really did look good, and Robin was being honest. I think she was trying to be funny too, because that was some shade towards the situation with Robin and Kira, when Kira said Robin was old. But anyways, Tiffany asked Robin how old were her kids, and she said 32 and 24. And I was like, oh wow, okay, now I really see why Robin said she wasn't going to be arguing with Kira when she got kids her age. Damn, they're older too. Sure. Okay, Robin, put them kids right on out, and she sat right on back. So the two ladies got straight into the conversation about what happened at the pitching, and Tiffany was saying how she usually stay out of people's mess, but she can tell that Robin was feeling attacked, and Robin said, well, yeah, I was feeling attacked. And she also brought up how she's been going through mental instability, and when Cristyl started calling her triggered, she basically was poking at her about being mental. And I don't know about y'all, but I felt the same way. Cristyl knew that triggering word was going to be hunting her so-called best friend. And Tiffany knew that as well, which is why she came to Robin's rescue when things started to go left. But I will say that Robin did give Cristyl an alley-oop by saying that Cristyl may not have known how weak she actually was. Like, Robin was calling herself weak, which is sad. Robin, don't call yourself weak. Don't do that. But still, Cristyl knew enough to know not to provoke the damn lady. And then Robin started name dropping the problem she's been dealing with, which was depression mixed with anxiety, and she also had ADHD. So once Tiffany heard that, she opened up about her problems to Robin, saying she dealt with constant anxiety as well, always being in fear and in panic. And I am glad that Tiffany opened up about her own problems, because we knew she was dealing with mental problems because she expressed that in the last episode. But I'm even more glad she broke it down while speaking to Robin and wasn't trying to be that girl that let Robin spill out all her mental problems on the floor while she, played pickup and act like she cared, because, people do that. They really do. So moving on in the show, Robin also had a sit down with Quiana, and this is what I've been waiting for. And of course they get straight into it. And Quiana asked Robin what happened at the gathering they had. And Robin told her she don't know where everything went left. She really didn't. So of course Quiana basically told her how she felt like Robin was dismissing her feelings about the entire situation that went on between them two. And you know what? I knew that is what Quiana was feeling, and like I said before, I totally see how Quiana felt that way, because Robin is such a straight shooter. She likes to do what she has to do and say what she has to say just to move on. And Quiana picked up on that and considered that negative energy and a negative attitude on Robin's part, which, I mean, it kind of was. But Robin said she was just caught off guard, but she wasn't trying to come off as dismissive, and said she also was feeling attacked that night, which made her go into defensive mode, which I knew from the beginning that's what it was. I mean, come on. But at their lunch, I feel like they were able to get an understanding of where both of their heads was at during the gathering event. But I wanted to know where Robin's head was at when she told that lady $13,000 for 26, 29 clients, whatever it was. But we will have to see that conversation on the next episode, because they tried us and they left their conversation right there. But continuing on in this episode, we did see Kira showing B.Simone another condo, since the one she showed her in the last episode was just not a hit. It really wasn't. And yeah, I promise, if I didn't get this scene, I would have forgot all about Kira's existence, okay? Which is crazy, because all of that chaos she caused in the last episode, you would think she would be memorable, right? But the other ladies are just overshadowing her and Tiana at this point. But I will give Kira her credit as far as being the real estate purpose to the show. Because it seemed like she is the one showing all the damn homes and condos off to her clients at this point. And even still, it's not enough, because we only seen her show 2 damn expensive condos. Now, I will say this new condo Kira is showing B.Simone, I actually like. And it is more spacious than the first one she showed. But to B.Simone, it's still too small. And I get that. But at this point, I just feel like B.Simone needs to move into a house or a townhome or something, because these condos is not giving, her what she wants. But I mean, I guess that's the point of Kira, right? As an agent, to find the right condo for her. So hopefully we see that. So even though I am giving Kira her props for being the one that has showed us the most real estate so far, even though she really hasn't, she's beat everyone else out by like 1 extra condo. But in this episode, we see Tiana as well speaking with the client, but she isn't trying to sell him a home. She is trying to sell off his home, which is a penthouse condo. Now this guy she is working with, we met earlier in the show when Tiffany and Tiana went to his decor designer store, and he asked Tiana if she can sell his place, and she said yeah. Now this is a 2-bed, 2-bath penthouse, and y'all, it was nice. It was beautiful, and you can tell he put a lot of work into remodeling that penthouse. But if you ask me, it was just too small. Like, it was too small. And I get it, people like the views that they would get in the penthouse and those sort of things, but I like space. The views don't cut it for me, because the only view I look at are the ones that is on TV and the ones that I look at when I travel. But that's about it. So after having a tour of the home, Tiana said she could sell a home on the market for $1.5 million. And to me, that was an outrageous price for that penthouse. And even though I thought that was too much, that man thought that was too little. And the man said, basically, no, that's too low. See, that's how you know I'm not built for real estate, because if I was Tiana, I would have just walked out there, because clearly I can't sell your home. Because any more than that, like, who want that? But it do be people out there that be wanting it. They really do. I must say, this is getting very, very good. Like, this show is really getting good. It's getting better. It's getting juicier. Like I keep saying though, I really, really do need some real estate. Like, please bring the real estate. Bring it on. Other than that, it's just getting better, and I can't wait for next week's episode because it's going to be some chaos there too. But yeah, I already know what it is. If you like this video, like this video. If you have thoughts and comments on this show, put it down below. And last but certainly not least, subscribe to join the Queen, baby. Bye.